Have you ever seen something move so fast it becomes a blur? A flash of lightning, a hummingbird's wing? For a brief moment in history, that blur was a man. He moved faster than the human eye could follow, a storm of controlled chaos and explosive power. This isn't just the story of a fighter. It's the story of Bruce Lee, the man who redefined the limits of human speed and spirit. Born in San Francisco's Chinatown and raised on the bustling, chaotic streets of Hong Kong, Bruce Lee was far from a prodigy. He was a restless kid, a troublemaker who found himself in street fights more often than not. He was wild, energetic, and by many accounts almost impossible to control. But beneath that rebellious exterior, a fire was stirring. A deep, undeniable sense that he was destined for something far greater. Alone in his small room, every shadow he boxed, every powerful kick he threw into the empty air, was more than just practice. It was a silent promise to himself, a vow that one day, the entire world would know the name Bruce Lee. To become a legend, he had to forge himself into one. He trained with an intensity that bordered on obsession, pushing his body and mind to their absolute breaking points. His training wasn't just physical, it was a holistic discipline. He performed punches so fast they were invisible to the naked eye, his muscles sculpted through sheer will and relentless discipline. But he didn't just build his body, he sharpened his mind. He devoured books on philosophy, studied the mechanics of combat from every conceivable angle, and delved deep into the workings of the human psyche. He famously rejected the rigid traditional styles of martial arts. He saw them as limitations, cages that trapped a fighter's true potential. For him, combat was fluid, adaptable, and free. This philosophy became the core of his own creation, Jeet Kune Do, the way of the intercepting fist. It wasn't a style. It was a principle. A guide to using no way as way, having no limitation as limitation. He wasn't just teaching people how to fight. He was teaching them how to be free. Hollywood, in the early 1970s, wasn't ready for an Asian leading man. The system was built on stereotypes and they couldn't see past them. But Bruce Lee didn't ask for permission. He kicked the door down. With the release of Enter the Dragon, the world didn't just see a movie, it witnessed a phenomenon. Millions sat in stunned silence, watching a man who moved like a bolt of lightning and spoke with the wisdom of a seasoned philosopher. His words echoed across the globe, becoming mantras for a generation. Be water, my friend. Empty your mind, be formless, shapeless, like water. He wasn't just performing fight scenes. He was expressing a profound philosophy through the art of movement. Then, at the absolute peak of his power, the world came to a sudden, screeching halt. At just 32 years old, Bruce Lee was gone. There was no warning, no long illness, no final goodbye. Just a deafening silence where a whirlwind of energy once stood. News headlines screamed the unbelievable truth, and crowds gathered across the world to mourn the fallen star. But true legends never really die. Their bodies may fail, but their ideas become immortal. Today, the name Bruce Lee represents more than just a man. It's a symbol of self-mastery, a global movement inspiring millions. From UFC fighters crediting him as the father of mixed martial arts to everyday people finding strength in his philosophy, his legacy is everywhere. He is a constant, powerful reminder that the only limits we truly face are the ones we place on ourselves, the ones that exist only in our minds. He taught the world that immense strength can be found in stillness, that true power isn't about defeating others, but about conquering the self. He didn't chase greatness. He became it. Bruce Lee was the man who turned the human form into a living work of art. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you were inspired by the story of this incredible legend, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of the people who changed the world. We'll see you in the next one.